Welcome back to the channel. My name is Steven. I'm a pharmacist and I own 52 units of real estate. So I had a great question in the comments asking, why don't I 1031 exchange one of my high equity, low rent, low cash flow properties in California and 1031 that into an apartment complex that can have 4 times the gross rent? So my first property I bought in Livermore, I bought it for $800,000. I put about 20% down. And now today it's worth close to $1.4 million. Loan is about $600,000. So I have $80,000 of equity in this deal. If I were to 1031 this, I could potentially buy a 2.5 to $3 million apartment complex, depending on if I'm doing 25% down or 30% down, whatever that looks like, right? And I just made an offer on like an 80 unit apartment complex of $3.3 million conventional financing and $4 million creative financing if you were to carry the note. I have a video where I break it down on a whiteboard, so check that video out in my channel. It's called Underwriting 80 unit apartment complex. But anyways, like, I would love to 1031 exchange these properties because that was my whole intent, right? Like build up equity, and then once I have equity, I can crack these piggy banks, 1031 exchanges, and to buy apartment complexes that cash flow more. The problem is finding good deals that cash flow and that you can buy at a price that makes sense for you based on these current interest rates. So a lot of sellers for multifamily, they're fixated on cap rates that are lower, um, on interest rates that were lower, and they're fixated on the price because they were probably offered during the whole COVID craze, right? Like even me, like I was offered like money on deals, and then now that number is stuck in your mind, right? But what happened is back then when the interest rates were 4%, maybe your cap rate's like a 7 cap. But now that interest rates are 8%, your cap rate's a 10% or 10 cap. So what happens if interest rates go up, your cap rate goes up, your value goes down, right? And what's a double whammy is that the value of multifamily is net operating income divided by the market cap rate. So cap rates are going up. So your denominator is going up, which is lowering the value. That's one way you're getting hit. The second way you're getting hit is your net operating income is your income minus your expense. So what's happening is the income, which is your rental income, is being stagnant or going slightly down depending on the market, right? Because maybe if you're in an area where they overbuilt a bunch of new construction and going online, you have more competition, your rent is stagnant or maybe slightly goes down. So if it's stagnant, well, you're okay. If it goes down, then your income is less. But the kicker is that the expenses are going up, right? So repair expenses are going up, insurance is going up, property tax is going up. So your NOI is going down, your cap rate's going up. So that's two ways that your value is going down. Number one, your NOI is going down, which lowers the value. Number two, your cap rate's going up, which lowers the value, right? So, it sucks for someone trying to sell now, right? Because obviously I'd rather sell at a 7 cap versus a 10 cap because I'll get more money, right? So, like, if I was a seller, that's why sellers are just holding and waiting, right? But as a buyer, if you're making an offer, you have to make very low ball offers, unfortunately, because that's how you make the deals pencil out, um, and give yourself an exit strategy. So, like on the 80 unit apartment complex, which I offered on conventional financing, assuming 25% down, 20-year amortized loan because it's a 1970s C-class apartment. It's older, so you want to be conservative. Assume 20 years amortization because it's an older building, and interest rate 8%, right? And I want to hit a debt service coverage ratio of 1.25. And I have a whole video whiteboard session detailing this. So just check it out. It's me underwriting my 80 unit apartment complex, and I did my conventional offer and my creative offer. But my conventional offer is about $3.3 million or $3.2 million, ideally. And that's just to hit the DSCSR of 1.25. So, the monthly, I think the gross rent is about 60,000. Cut that in 55% of your expense. So I think you have like $27,000 left. And then you have, I forgot, I want to say it's like 22,000 or something is your debt service, and you have $5,000 in cash flow on the deal. Versus if you do creative financing, I offer $4 million, but I'm asking the seller to carry at 3.6 million at 5% interest only, right? So I can make a more aggressive offer, but the problem is the pro forma value after putting $800,000 of renovation is going to be about $5 million. So if I get it creative financing, then I may not be as aggressive in renovation, and just kind of write up the cash flow because I want to cash flow like 12K, I think a month, videos where I broke it down versus like 5,000. So I can live on 12K a month, and I just slowly renovate units one at a time as the tenants turn. Just renovate it, raise the rents organically and slowly, and hold it long enough so that the value will go up, and hopefully, interest rates go down, cap rates go down, and at that point I can do a cash out refinance and pay off the seller finance note. So, I would love the 1031 exchange, but the problem is finding a good deal. Because like I said, most owners are sitting on good interest rates. Like me, I'm sitting on like 4% interest on my 26 unit, 6.5 on my 20 unit. That one's could be better, could be worse. But I'm not motivated to sell my 26 unit, right? Especially if I don't get the price I want. So I imagine other sellers are the same way, right? So unless they really want to sell, in which case, like I said, the seller wants $5 million for the 80 unit, and I offered 3.3, which is $1.7 million less than what he wants. But if I can get that deal, amazing, right? I can 1031 exchange my property, take my $80,000 of equity, put it into the property, 3.2, 25% down. That's actually $800,000. That's all my money, right? And then I would need maybe a private money lender to help me with the renovations, right? So let's say I get $800,000, a renovation, 10K per door. I renovate each unit. I can raise the rents by about 150 to 200 per door. After factoring my new NOI times 80 units, factoring the occupancy, it's kind of like 98%. Your new NOI divided by 9 cap, now it's worth maybe $5 million. So I bought for 3.2. Let's just say I put $800,000 in renovation. I'm all in for $4 million, and now it's worth $5 million. So if it appraises at $5 million, I do a cash out refinance. I can pull out my money, get my, assuming it's 80% loan to value that I can pull out. I can pay off the loan, pull out my renovation costs, and then own this apartment complex now without any money in the deal, right? So that's kind of the strategy that I want to do, but I have to buy it at $3.2 million, right? Which is $1.8 million less than what they want, right? So like what they want is $5 million, which is the pro forma value to me. But to me, I'm like, I don't want to buy the pro forma. I want to buy it low enough where I can put in money, fix it up, and still have $1 million of forced depreciation after raising rents, because I'm doing all the work, right? I'm doing all the work. So how to get to owner to swallow that pill? It's gonna be hard, right? That's why I offered $4 million creative financing. But if I put 800,000 into it, I'm all in for 4.8, and it's only valued at 5. I can't put my money out, right? I want to be a good exit. So knowing that, I would want long terms on the seller financing. So that maybe instead of 5 years, I'd want like 10, 15 years. So that maybe by then interest rates go down, cap rates go down, and I can, get a new loan on it, pay off the seller finance, and get back my renovation costs that I put in the deal plus my down payment, right? So that's how I strategize it. Because I know if I buy it at like 4 million, I'm overpaying, right? Like I should be in all in 4 million purchase price plus renovation. I'm buying for 4 million creative finance because it's going to cash flow a little better, right? So that's the risk you're taking. You do creative financing, you're overpaying, but you have to think of your exit strategy. And if your exit strategy is you just seller finance it for the rest of the loan, great. If you want to exit and you want to buy time, that's why I always say, hey, give me 10 years. If it doesn't appraise and I can't get a loan on it, automatically extend it for another 5 years, right? And most owners are confident that it will appraise, but we run the numbers so we know. So yeah, I would love. I am thinking of 1031 exchanging it. Honestly, I was gonna probably sell property, pay off this property, to take some chips off the table, so I can sleep well at night, whatever. But I have another single family home that I can 1031 exchange to go buy another apartment complex, or I could trade my 26 unit, sell that, 1031 that into a bigger apartment complex, and keep on buying more apartments that way. But it's crazy when I broke down the numbers. So yeah, that's something I do want to do, something I can do, but I'm just waiting for the right deal. And just right now, I just know that like sellers are not realistic. But if I find the right seller and the right property and the right purchase price with renovation, by all means, I'll do it. Like if I get this for 3.2 million, I'll do it all day, right? I'll 1031 exchange, but just find that deal. That's the part that takes a lot of time and takes a lot of patience. So it's something I do am considering, and I'm just waiting, right? These properties are just piggy banks that I'm going to smash, 1031 exchange, go buy a bigger apartment that I can value add, but I need to have my exit strategy conservatively and clear, right? Because I want to assume higher cap rates, because maybe in 5 years, maybe interest rates don't drop. I don't know, right? I don't have a crystal ball. I think they will trend downwards, but who knows what it'll be. So that's really kind of my thought process with that. So anyways, let me know if you have any questions. If you want to learn how to buy multifamily real estate and you're patient, consider joining my mentorship program. Otherwise, please like, comment, subscribe. Hope to see you in the other one. And thank you so much.